Okay, so it's about 1:30, I think. When I got up, I think it was like 12:45 or something. But it was like, fuck, man, I could not sleep. God, I was so uncomfortable. And yesterday, my chair that I was sitting in was becoming so uncomfortable. I could not get comfortable. And so I changed the chair today, and I don't know if it's gonna help at all. But there's something very uncomfortable. Oh my God, it's very uncomfortable. And I've had to open the garage a couple times, and it is total snowstorm. Like, oh my God. Luckily, most of the things that I have to do with my check are all online, so I don't have to leave other than to go get some food, which, I don't know. We'll just have to see what the weather does, I guess. But she has four-wheel drive, so then we can still go. We'll just see. I just don't know. Supposedly it was supposed to be nice Friday, but when I've looked, I haven't seen all this snow. Like they don't have it on the weather thing, and it just keeps snowing and snowing. And that one weather alert thing I had seen, that wasn't on the phone though. It wasn't Google. It was somebody watching weather maps or something, showing that the snowstorm that was going to be going up across the north from the west to the east. So it's going this whole thing. And I said that there was when I was looking and they were showing all the map and stuff, and it was going to go down like the Sierras and stuff down, and California was going to be hit. They were in the red zone. Their mountain range they said, I don't remember how many inches they said. Like, I think they said like 60 inches and stuff that they were going to be getting in the red zone. And then in Northern California, it was still showing, it was all in the green. But anyways, up by me though, there was like a little island where it wasn't. And so I thought there would be snow, but I didn't know, I don't know how deep it's going to get or what, I don't know. When I go on to TikTok, it is, oh God, it's exhausting. This dog thing is, oh my God. It just is, it's huge at this point. I mean, if you're not seeing stuff about it, like, yeah, I mean, it's not coming across your algorithm for a reason, I guess. But, oh my God, it is crazy. And so many more people talking about it and saying it's a lot. And it's what's going to take it down. So that's, this whole ball of energy that's going about. What's included with it is just the people trying to save the dogs at the shelters just mindlessly murdering, committing a crime right in front of us. And just imagine if that was us. If we said, well, we had to move, we don't have space, we're just going to take it out. What else are we going to do? Okay. This is like psychopathy, man. This is crazy. And it's absolute. What gets me too is the darkness in the soul's doing it, especially during this. Like when you can, when you can feel the environment. One of the things when I open the garage door and the snow's going, which I know that creates more weirdness in the atmosphere. Things that I noticed about the atmosphere that I've talked about for so long is, I don't know if it's kind of in Gator's disclosure of all this stuff, when creating this barrier between the sun, which the sun is a weapon at this point. Whatever they're using as the sun is a weapon. It's a direct energy heat weapon of some sort. It's like a lens or something, I think. And so the atmosphere that they're creating, which is setting everything off. Imagine like the universe right now is a snow globe and it's shaking. Because that's kind of what we are. We're a bubble of a reality in a whole an ocean where there's lots of bubbles of realities. And so our snow bubble is shaking. It's moving fast towards the surface. And so it's rumbling, which the rumbles have gotten crazy. And you got to remember, like I said, this is the tectonic plates and stuff underneath shifting. And I just heard that on one of the reports. I think it's Indonesia had a huge earthquake, or let's see, the volcano. There's just a lot of shit going on. There's earthquakes and volcanoes. And Indonesia and Greece have a lot of action going on. Greece has had like 300. They've been evacuating people from this area. It's a whole big thing happening. In Indonesia, I think it was Indonesia, it already happened. And they're still having, like, they were having a tsunami warning after. It's like a huge, I don't know the number. I don't know why 9 is coming to my mind, or 9.5 or something, but I don't know. But it was that, like, kind of devastation and stuff, like buildings falling and stuff. So it's really, really bad. And I don't even know if they're even saying anything about numbers or whatever with how many are dead or whatever. But don't forget, I said there's going to be these big devastating things that are going to happen. They're going to take out huge groups of people. But in the spiritual world, like where, you know, where I said, like where I see myself walking and everything falling off of me and becoming bare and coming down to myself, is all this stuff is falling apart, is in that reality, those people are, he said, maybe it is like a cartoon. Those people are all gathering in their ship and going home. So when we can all sit here and go like, oh my God, this is so horrible. But that's pretty much really stuck in the game, to feel the game on such an intense level. And I know that there's a lot of people who would think like, okay, this lady, she's got no room to talk about crazy. Look how crazy she is. That is definitely of a wheeze. And that's constantly having to clear my throat. I mean, there's poisons over here. Like, my mom's sick as fuck. And I've just entered new ones, but I got away from the ones that I was getting overrun with. So, you know, now I've got to battle these other ones, which is like similar stuff, because there's so much infiltrates. I keep trying to make sure my mom understands this, because it's the infiltrates that you breathe in and they linger in there. You got to cough them out and stuff, because that is what is attaching and creating these sicknesses. People just keep thinking like they're getting sick from somebody's germs or something. No, you're breathing in toxins and infiltrates, and it's the density and the thing. And that's what I was going to say when the garage door opened. There was a plane going. The sounds aren't right. There's nothing that sounds right. And the sky sounds weird, like all of it. And I keep hearing other videos that people showing of the sky sounding weird, all these weird sounds, because like this snow globe thing, and we're shaking. And so it's the tectonic plates. And see, I said a long while ago that there was going to be a reverberation. So something happens over here, and underneath us, it's reverberating. And then these things, wherever the shift. So you got to think about the structure underneath us. And this is like, if you go into the spiritual part of my reality of how I look at things, is, again, it's looking like cartoons. That's so, because it's just a lot of this density you gotta let go of. But it is, it's like a bunch of pallets. It's like a bunch of pallets. And, oh, okay, so think about it, like, this is a perspective that I can understand, because when they communicate to you, they're going to communicate to you in a way that you understand. So that is the fortunate thing between telepathy of the pictures, the magnifying these pictures, and you just got to shift your vision into the universal screen, and then you can see the pictures. And so, but the pictures are your own, so you can see what you understand. Man, that's so weird. Sometimes I get this vision of things that are so beyond my comprehension. It's like, whoa. But it's all the thing that always seems to stem out. It's like a bleed out. It's like this bleed out goes from this to bigger. It's micro, macro, in such a sense that, you know, that is such a sense of perception of reality, of so many realities and stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but I can see it. But sometimes it overwhelms me. It makes me feel like I'm falling into something huge, that is overwhelming to my mind, which gets me when I think about the people who have to have something to grasp onto in reality because it helps them keep sane. And I think about, like, you know, how it is free falling when you let go of all the parameters that give you the cage, something to hold on to. Keep having a moth, which is a good sign. This moth is really following me around. It was way over there a little while ago, but I keep having moths coming. And that's supposed to be, I don't remember, I looked it up the other day. A sign of change or a sign of money or something, I don't remember. But it's good. So, anyways, okay. So, anyways, you guys aren't even gonna get this for a couple days. It's so trippy too. Like, that is a switch in my reality of me doing it, putting it on, and it was like a part of my day. And now it's like this part of my day has become this empty space that it is, my mind still keeps going back to that when it's like, it's weird. It's just weird. And so it's trippy too, because I could say some things are brain injury things, but we all are different. We all perceive different and stuff. And so there's definitely people who perceive in those ways. And I don't know, to me, I feel like I've perceived always in these ways. And I don't feel like that there's change in that. But like I said, I've been talking to I've lived, a big part of my life has been spent in the spiritual realm. So that is, just been a part of my life and a part of my communication, a part of my, weirdness, where I just go quiet and stare out into space and be like, what is going on there? So anyways, but I'm always in this communicate in the pictures and stuff. So when this, okay, so imagine, I see my character. She's a little cute little Avatar cartoon. And she's a little young, but we're all young at heart. And so these palettes, they are, they create a stage. And then all of my friends and all these people who are friends with each other, all these people all gather on this stage and they all start performing for one another. So everybody's performing for one another, but all of the palettes are getting they're all getting messed up. They're falling down. Nobody's tending the palettes. So the palettes are falling down underneath us. And then they have fallen so much that they're uncomfortable and they're having to shift around. And we never tended them. We never gave much mind because we were all up here performing for each other. And then the palettes have fallen. So the palettes that's what we're dealing with, is the palettes are shifting now. And now they've got our attention. Now we're like, oh, the ground's moving, the ground's falling. What's happening? Where are we? What's going on here? And that's when we start connecting to our reality in a different way. We connect to nature and stuff, but see, the nature's got to growl its ugly head at us and tell us, like, you're not paying attention. But that is where all the old realities are shifting and going underneath us. And I think it's so clear how it's playing out. Like I had said, like, I haven't been seeing this stuff. Like I said, when I go on TikTok, it's too much, man. The fucking shit with the dogs, dude. God damn. And all these beautiful, these eyes just looking, I just see right into their soul. And, and I know a lot of them aren't going to make it. They're going to be murdered in the slaughter. And that is, it's like a martyr role of change that they come in and play. But it's like, fuck, man, it's a lot. There's so much. And there's so much abuse of animals being exposed. There's so much, yesterday, oh my God, this one really got me. Because of all this stuff with the dogs. And then this video came across. I love these ones, these canine and military dogs. Those fucking videos are so, I bawl through them every time. I just bawl my head off. And yesterday, the one I saw, it wasn't Malinois or whatever. My brother has one of those dogs, Malinois or something. But remember, he's a firefighter, and that's like, in that, firefighter or police and all them. Like, they play games together and stuff, like baseball or something. I don't know. But so I don't know. There's a competition or something. Or I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. So just all I know is, like, I never even heard of that motherfucking dog. And my brother's like, yeah, I got one of those. I was like, what the hell is that? And then I started seeing all these videos of them, and it's like, they're super intense, highly trained. They need to be highly trained. They're very much a working dog. Who knows if they aren't some kind of a, military cloning situation where all of a sudden, like, I don't know their history or anything like that. They look kind of like skinny German Shepherds to me. But this one was German Shepherds, because German Shepherds have been used so much for canine and stuff, even though they've used some other dogs. But they're common. And then they've been very, that's how they got such a reputation of being so smart. And this video that I was seeing, it was really good too, because the military guys, some of those had to be Malinois that they were hooking on, because they were jumping out of planes with them. And they were hooking them on, and some were holding them. Like, it was fuck, man. And the music they do, and they've got these fucking dogs, and then they can go down on the helicopters and shit sometimes, and the dogs jump out, roll, and take off chasing the fucking convict. It's just like fucking so. They are the coolest videos. I just can't even tell you how fucking cool these videos are if you've never seen them. But I was watching it, and I was like, God damn, these fucking people undervalue dogs so much. Like, when you've got the right person, and the dog and the person train one another or communicate one another with respect, and I feel like me and Stella, even though I'll get mad at her and she gets mad at me, and she'll whine and bitch at me, and I'll holler at her, and like, she's already over there hitting the fridge at 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to put my foot down. She's over there hitting the cookies. It's like, you already have 5 fucking cookies, Stella. You go get over there and lay down. And we are not having, because yesterday it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, she's got to eat. It's like every few hours. I'm not even shitting you. Is it every few hours she acts like she is starving to death, and these little fatto potatoes just ride the wave, man. So it's just like, oh my God. So anyways, that is a frustration of mine. I've got a few, and I'm working through them. But you also got to feel them. You got to allow yourself to experience frustration. You can't be perfect, but you can witness yourself. You can engage with yourself. So, okay, let's see, because I feel like I'm all over the place. Okay, visions, tuning into the universal screen, and communicating with your group of people who are it's like your bleed out from your soul. It's like this bleed out of, I don't know, of you, but it's like we're all distinct. We all, it's like we all have become individuals. We all, in this period of time, is such a link to our individuality, this ascension, this stepping into yourself and identifying yourself away from the group. You're no longer, in the flock. You are an individual. And what I was saying is how this stuff is playing out on micro, macro. Like I had said, this stuff was going to be going down on this money thing and stuff. So what I had seen yesterday, so many dog videos, that was just overwhelming. And then okay, so we got Elon. I don't, like, I would see these videos saying stuff, and I'd be like, I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And I was like, God, I'm glad I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because there's so many people that are so highly engaged. It's such a part of their reality. And I know that this is all a part of the falling apart. This is all, this is all good stuff. And people are freaking the fuck out. Like, they're trying to hold on to this fucking bullshit, man, because they're out of their own ignorance and desperation, out of their own fears. I mean, and they trigger all these emotions in these people. And it's just wacky, man. Because it's even people who think they're so awake. Like, they just don't see stuff because they woke up to something, they focused on that, and they didn't look any bigger into anything. And so many people think that they know everything, but, what is that? I think it's in Princess Bride, but you know nothing. So, yeah, it's like they think they know, but you know nothing. The guy who was doing the poison thing, is it in this one? Is it in that one? Do you think it's here? What do you think? I think it's over there. Do you think I switched it? Oh, like that guy. I think that's the, that's what I'm picturing. But anyways, so that's whole Elon thing, it really is cracking me up. And though, oh my God, these fucking protests, they're just getting so many more and so big. That was one thing that I would run across, is like these lives of these protests and whatnot. And it just gets me every time. It's like, I swear to God, what is wrong with you? If you are protesting to stay in a place, why are you waving a different flag? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I mean, we know I'm a little out there. So, I don't know. It does not make sense in my mind at all. I'm just like, what in the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Like, be proud of where you're from, but when you're trying to go somewhere else, you may want to switch it out. That you want to take another step forward. I don't know. So, anyways, that is wacky to me. It's like, I don't know. Is this the Emperor's New Clothes? And all of a sudden, I'm gonna realize, like, oh, wait a minute, I got the wrong flag. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's weird. So, and then you got these fucking fruitcake extremists. They're out in the streets just creating outrage and madness and this fucking, I can see why he called her, Pocahontas now, because she does bring it out. That Warren chick, she does bring it out, and you just want to call her a name. Just, shut up. It's just like, oh my God, chick, how wacky can you get? And a lot of these people that are out there are whacking out. I don't even know who the fuck they are. I mean, you got some of these senators and shit getting busted in their screen, their phones being confiscated. There's another one weird thing. A guy coming across, his phone gets confiscated and is full of just, oh my God. Like, they are into it. They are into it. Like, and little kids. And filming, horrific. Oh my God. But, that's just gonna coming out. And one thing is like, it's, it's a gut punch when you hear, because it makes you sick to your stomach. But, a lot of us already spent our nights up over that. Stressing, like, oh my God, how can I fucking sleep? This is happening right around me. It's happening below us. It's happening everywhere. And, that was hard when you first started realizing that. So all these people, and what's even going to be harder on them is because there's been those of us weirdos out there telling them, and they're like, yeah, right. And then it's going to be like, yeah, right. I just was so busy. I just wanted to go to Aruba. I didn't really think it was real. It's like, yeah, it's real. We should have all stopped what we were fucking doing. We should have all stopped in our fucking tracks. And we should have said, what's going on here? No. I mean, just like on this kill shelter thing, like, this is what's going to bring them down. And it's going to show so much corruption. And all these people are involved. Like, there's regular people involved in this shit, man. And it's part of the laundry system. And it's like, they're fucking just, the mass murder that's happening right now is, I mean, when you realize it, it's so fucking outrageous. It's so fucking outrageous. And how we've gotten to this point with our fucking government, that they just do this shit right in front of us. And we just, where are you going this summer? Oh, we're thinking about Disneyland in Hawaii, probably. It's like, okay. Let's fucking, maybe we all need to stop and take a look around us and say, what's up? But now, because they weren't. Now they're all out in the streets fucking, what's up? What's up? What are you doing with our money? Why is Elon going to be in charge? I fucking saw one guy, and Elon's not going to be in charge of my grandma's Social Security. And this guy was like a senator or something. I was like, what the fuck? This is so fun. This is so exciting. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait for what's next. And when I went upstairs, so I was seeing some of that on that news. And so I had gone upstairs. My mom's just like, she's so excited. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. And so we were cracking up about that. And I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff. I think she's seeing more of the stuff, too, that I was seeing, too. I don't know, but she was very, very excited about all the stuff that was going on. Because it is mental. And the people are showing how mental they are. And it's like, you know, the blue bleed out. When are you going to start noticing the center of the problem is crazy? Like, when you can start seeing. And so, you know, and they get out there and they get crazier and crazier. And then these people cheer because they think that these people are saving you. It's like they're creating you a fucking high blood pressure, heart attack, and cancer. Stomach issues. They're creating you a lot of sickness. That's what they're creating you with stress and stuff that is, it's crazy because they want these people to hate the person who's trying to take down the corporate, who's trying to take down all of the nonsense, and then how they keep twisting and stuff. And these people it's like when they see you and they all of a sudden see, it's going to be blinding. I heard blinding so loud. Oh, and also the horse, you know, with the carriage, and their blinders. So that is a part of the healing part, is realizing, you know, because there's going to be a big part of these people having to realize to not be too hard on themselves. There's going to be people that are going to be so, and another part of their sickness will be, there'll be people that are still trying to put on a good face to their friends because it's so important to them for people to not think they're broken or that they have issues or they can't handle life or whatever. So they'll still try and put on a happy face or a mask for a while. But it's going to be punch after punch after punch until you find yourself in a puddle of yourself, and you have to mop it up and clean it up. That's what everybody has to get to that. Everybody has to get broken to get fixed. You have to see all the problems within you so that you can dismantle yourself to put yourself back together. And just like the pallets, and just like how in our reality we'll put the stage back together, and we're going to create a fucking badass stage, and there's going to be a lot. It's not going to be under because this concept of this global nation or whatever is just, it's like a recognition in our communities of coming together, which so many people are wanting this so bad. Like, I don't know if I already talked about this Dave's Winter Party, but that was one thing I started seeing all these people about. Dave's Winter Party. Oh my God, I want to go to Dave's Winter Party. I want to go to Dave. Is his name Dave's? I think it's Dave's. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's Dave's Winter Party. And so what it is, and I don't know where the neighborhood is, but everybody wants to go, which is so funny. Because somebody had showed like that weird science thing where it was like, yeah, we invited a couple people over, and then they open the door and it's like the whole school's there. I had one of those parties. And where I told my dad, well, can I just invite a couple people after the football game? And it was my senior year. And he was like, a couple, you know, like, how many are you talking? I was like, I don't know, 6 people or something. And he's like, okay. And I said, can I make a picture? I was 17, but my dad, I don't know. He didn't just let you drink or something, but like, this was my senior year and stuff. So I got to make a pitch or whatever. It was like one of those little igloo things, and it was like Everclear punch. That was like a popular thing when I was in high school. It was like they would make punch and pour a thing of Everclear in it, and it would kick your ass. It was like moonshine. That shit is fucking strong as fuck. I let somebody talk me into just doing a shot of it before. It's like, oh man, that shit is strong. Burn you up. So I had said that and everything. And I don't know, the police told my dad that there was well over 1,000. There was like maybe a couple thousand people in my house, in my yard. They took over the whole street. And I lived off of the Strip in Dallas. And so as soon as there started being cars parked for the party out, it brought in more cars. So it wasn't just like high school. There was several high schools there. There was people off the fucking Strip there. It was the hugest party. It was one of those that was historic. Like people kept talking about. I was seeing people I hadn't seen in so long. Somebody who we had had a fight. And then she's at my party and she's like, whose party is this? And I said, mine. Because she didn't even know I had moved over there after my parents' divorce. Anyways, and then we became friends again for a while. But, so anyways, because of this Dave's Winter Party. So, I was, I don't know, it's just funny. And so, all these people want to go to his party, and it's this whole rage, it's this whole sensation. And so then there started being videos, because I was like, where did this all come from? Who is this fella? And so it's this little man. He's like 85 years old. He walks with a cane. He was, a little shuffle with the cane. And he hand wrote these invitations, and it's come to Dave's winter party. It will start on February 15th at 4 o'clock until the cops come. And he's ready to party it up. And so he hand wrote all these little invitations, and then he hand delivered them to all the neighbors, everybody in his neighborhood. He hand delivered them, invited them personally to his party. And so there was people who were going on TikTok showing, oh my God, look at this, it's the cutest thing. Get video of him in the invitation. And it became a wave of like, everybody, and I knew it was going to be coming. Everybody's wanting to connect, but it's in this other way. It's like this other connection. It's like he plugged in a light that all of a sudden everybody remembered. Like, oh my gosh, it's so fun to just go, like, go over and chill at the guy's house and have, people. There's just a different kind of connection. I mean, they had so many people thinking that Tinder was giving them something back or something. Grindr. Yeah, I'm getting something out of Grindr. I'm getting connections. Real connections. Like, it just only lasts about a couple minutes, but it's so anyways, so he's created a sensation over this party. Yesterday I was like, see, this is the kind of stuff we need to turn into holidays. We need to turn it into these celebrations, these guys that come up with this, because it's like he created a whole wave of like humanity wanting to feel each other again, be connected to people again. So I was like, we should celebrate this every year. It should be like every year we're all getting together, or people are getting together and having parties everywhere. Because then people start saying, well, I can't go to Dave's party, but I'm going to video myself having a party by myself at my house and pretend I'm at Dave's house. So you got all those people. Like, it's really bringing this connection, this plugging in. It's not like he's teaching us, he's reminding us. And these parts of us are like coming back on and sparking back up of the importance of the community and getting together and knowing your neighbors and connecting and stuff, and simple connection, not some elaborate thing. And yeah, because there was a lot of it where it did become like show-offy or something. And my mom was talking about like the ending of the block party and stuff, and she said it just kind of is like people move away and then new people move, you don't really know them, and it just starts disconnecting. But it's crazy because a lot of people move into, well, now we're so shifted away from community and coming together. The social gatherings and stuff like that with our neighbors and stuff. Oh yeah, I remember that, because when they had showed me that thing about the flags in people's yards, and I was like, man, that's so divisive. And I can't remember all the things I was thinking, but that is a part of creating the vision in neighborhoods. Let's get them to go out there and claim it in their yard, show everybody, show the world what where it was before, you never would talk about that stuff. It's like, that's your private business. That's like going up and asking somebody, well, how often do you clean your vagina? And it was like, it's none of your fucking business. And so it was intrusive like that. When back in the day, I remember, you know, you didn't talk about, well, people did talk about religion all the time because that was like fucking, you know, the first 5 questions out of people's mouths. You know, where do you work? What do you do? Where do you go to church? So, but it wasn't, who did you vote for? That was very in bad taste. If you were trying to, you know, get in somebody's business about who they voted for, it's like, what the hell do you know, it just, I'm not, it's so weird how it became so much like, post it out in your front yard. Let's fight with our neighbors. And then you look at like, yeah, that is like the fucking block parties and the Karen, oh, the neighbor doesn't like this about you, they don't even fucking know you. And then plus getting people to argue over goddamn fences and shit. They put us, like, layer us on top of each other and give us this little tiny line and say, that's yours and that's yours. As they want to keep us frustrated, arguing over stupid shit, you know, where we just need to be out, and that the line between us is a lot more vague because the space between us is a lot more spacious. And so in this new space that we will be creating, I believe that we won't layer ourselves on top of each other. We're not going to puppy pile on top of each other because it's fucking uncomfortable. Take it from me. And so we will want more space. But then again, it's not going to be this consumption of space where we take way more than we need. But there will be a buffer. It's like a buffer between, so that we don't have, so we're not all like on top of each other. Even though they will build probably some communities where they are more on top of each other or something. Like they could build communities in places, like what I see is like a cool ass place, but it's not real big, but it's a real nice piece of land with water around it. And so those people kind of build up. The thing that it looks like is really cool too, kind of like space age. It's not like a tree or something, but it's like a spaceship almost that goes like these long legs and then these like capsules or something. So what's going to be is more distinctive, more creative housing facilities and stuff like that. Like it's going to become more, you know, just like that. And where the people are like, oh, we want to like live right here. This is a great spot. And instead of, you know, we're going to blow up this mountain, we're going to put some roads in, we're going to do this and do that. For one thing, hover cars are going to really fucking help save the planet. And then also, and I think there must be something that puts out a frequency or something that keeps us from running into birds and shit. So, you know, because, I mean, we don't have birds running into each other all over. You know, birds out flying, they hit into each other. So there's got to be some kind of a sensor or something. Because I think it's through frequency. Because when I would notice the spiders on the webs by my house, and I would see like the flies and the gnats flying around, and I would always think, why don't they just fly into it? And I would watch, and it's like they can feel it with their wings. And so the web is here, and then so these are flying, and then as this moves, they can feel it, and then they always start going the other way. So it is really pretty fantastic when a spider does catch one, because it's something. So I think it would probably be something like that with our frequency of the hovercraft or something, because I think it's going to be a lot more safer, a lot less animal death than what we are experiencing, and a lot less crude ravaging of the planet and blowing it up and digging it out and stuff like that. And so and then coming up with more innovative ways of being able to live in areas amongst certain kind of things like that. Because that one is very much like it's like a mountain kind of, and then this land coming out here, and then all the ocean or something. So I bet you there's going to be some places like that. And then kind of like also in like I think in Peru and stuff, and there's places where they've built up into the mountain. And so I think there'll be places like that too, kind of like when in our history and stuff, where they show like caves and cave dwellings and stuff. And then you gotta remember too, like those were different points of water and shifts and stuff too, like things have shifted around on the planets. There's like a part of our history being exposed to us in these shifting and stuff. And so anyways, that is kind of also where we'll kind of do stuff like that, build into caves and create really cool houses and homes inside of caves. And okay, so it's kind of like also where it is like the idea of what a home is going to be different in different places too. And you know, not like here where you expect to walk in sometimes in an entryway or a living room space, and then you go into a kitchen, and then you go down a hall, there's bedrooms and bathrooms and stuff like that. It's gonna not be so things are gonna like be different, and people aren't gonna have like this same kinds of like amounts of furniture. Like it's like there's gonna be things that are gonna just be different. And then but also it would kind of like how I see it is this place, these people, there's people who weave rugs and make blankets and stuff like that, and so they can get stuff from the people in their group. And then in that group, the things that the people can do, then they sell them, because you're going to buy the stuff like locally from the people around you and stuff. And you're not going to be like going all over the place to go get things, because you kind of create the thing that you have from what you have. And so kind of like you go into a lot of the people's houses, and there's a lot of stuff that is similar, but it's kind of like that's what creates that whole space, that makes it have that whole vibe, that whole look. And so it's kind of like a lot of the homes are kind of similar by the things that the people get, even though there can be different colors and stuff, if you get my drift, if you get what I'm saying. And so it will be kind of like its own vibe, its own kind of thing. So there's just going to be a lot of things that are going to change about that, about how we do things and how we live and stuff. And in different groups that build up different places. And I don't know how, you know, it all gets there, because I think I heard somebody, a spiritual person, talking about that Allison Coe thing, and how excited they were, and which there is a lot of things that are exciting, but the thing that gets me is this middle thing. And this girl was like, oh, because we're just gonna keep feeling this reality, and it's because they're so burdened, all these spiritual people, they can't figure it out. Like, what's this dictator doing? They thought that that Kamala was there to save them. Like, everything was so backwards. And so they're freaking out over all this stuff. They think that there's a Holocaust. Like, they are all freaking. And so, because they don't see the whole picture, because they've got their blinders on and they've got a distortion in front of them, and they don't realize it. And that's part of this awakening. But but what, you know, this concept of like, I'm going to feel all of this horribleness, and then all of a sudden that is just going to shift and everything's going to go really good. Which that is going to be the shift, but it's not going to be, it's weird, because it's like, I don't know, I'm not feeling burdened by this stuff going on. I'm feeling so fucking excited, I can't even believe it. Like, I was just cracking up yesterday. I'm like, God damn, I can't wait till tomorrow and get up and see what the hell's gonna happen tomorrow. Because it is just going full speed ahead. Like, the stuff with the money, the stuff with all these agencies, all these foundations, all this shit. And then these fucking psychos exposing how crazy they are and trying to create this division and trying to hold you into the trap of enslavement and stuff. And these people who just like, meh. It's crazy. And I think it's exciting. Like, we're going to change. So I take it as these people who are feeling it like that is like they're feeling the burden of like, you know, how did we get here? And we're going to have a dictator, you know, like they're not seeing the reality. And so that, and then that idea of like, then it's just going to go away. There's just this running from yourself all the time. And you have to stop and you have to heal. And no matter what, how many of these motherfucking people who claim to be starseeds and light workers and all that shit, when they are worshiping the wrong side, just like I've said, we got a red worshiping a book, and we have the blue worshiping it's like a virtue. It's like, I don't know. They've all got their own shit to heal. That's what I know. And so there's these parts in the awakening where they are stagnant. They are not. They're still in a trap. And that is where the pellets are going to keep falling and falling and falling. And so the traps are going to be, they're not going to be able to be there. But when I hear these people always be like, yeah, like they're just going to shift them out of their pain and suffering. The universe is going to do it, and they don't have to pay attention or anything, because they are obviously still have biases. There's a lot of things that they need to work through, or they wouldn't be having those reactions. And so that's where the stuff is going to start being shown. And when they can't see the truth, and there's so many of these spiritual blue people who are don't see. They don't see. And so that is a part of their awakening, is this stuff. But yeah, you have to be able to go at this in a spiritual sense of like letting go of what this reality is, because it's not your real reality. Once you know, like you're a soul, like you've got a whole other thing going on. And then when things get tough, you go in to talk to the people, that are from your real world. And so I don't know, because to me, it just is so crystal clear. I can just see this stuff so clearly. I can see what Donald's doing, and even these things changing around us, and knowing like we're going into this peace treaty, we're going into this like global nation of freedom, of independence, of, it's kind of like every man for yourself. You can't just be anchoring on and using somebody's energy to keep yourself alive. It's like, get your shit together and keep yourself alive. And so it's kind of like, but there will be communities, there will be business, there will be things. It's just going to be a lot of shifts, a lot of this stuff. Like there's going to be a lot of this stuff with the money is going to change people's values and stuff. And I don't know how long they have to experience, each experience is going to be different for different people. I mean, sometimes something that lasts 10 minutes can feel like it lasts 10 days. Like January has felt like it's already been fucking, it seems like we should be in summer by now. And so time is it's more of a mind thing. And that is a part of the awakening too, because they kept us in a trap on a clock and tried to really decipher, get us down to these moments and stuff like that. But it's more of moments of time, or the experience is the moment of time, the interactions, the experience. You get blocks of these throughout your time. It's like, yeah. I see it like looking through different like panes of a window or something. But you have all of these different experiences, and they want to get us to shift away from that and focus on this. You know, it's been 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, we got to go to work for 12, you know, all of this kind of stuff. It is a shift in your reality because it's a shift in your focus. And when you, so all these focused shifts are going to be falling apart, which opens up your the possibilities. And so then your mind starts filling them, I guess. You start seeing like, and your values system starts changing. And so this is how the change occurs, is going through these recognitions, these realizations, these little process of letting go, and some things of holding on. But there's so many of these people who haven't done any of that. It's like they just instead created this 3D reality where it's like, well, if it bothers you, that's low vibration. And then you got to look away from low vibration, or you're low vibration. You got to just pay attention to the things that make you feel happy. And it's like that. I mean, how much more can you mask up? How much more can you hide from yourself? Like, what does yourself got to do to get attention, man? And some of them, they do start falling apart. You know, things in the universe, when the universe is creating more chaos for you, more things falling apart, you should probably be thanking them, because they're trying to get your attention, to get you off of your fucking weirdo horse that you rode in on. And so they are shaking things up in your life for a purpose. It's not to destroy you, it's to help you, you know, stop destroying yourself. So anyways, yeah, I don't know, just the whole way of like that girl in that thing, which makes me think she's blue and she doesn't know what fills in, so she just got to kind of skip it. But that, you know, all of a sudden the tension, it just turns everything in a new direction, which that is what is going to occur. But that is the time of mirrors. That's the awakening. That's the healing thing. And that's the part that they seem to skip. They just are like, we go from that to all of a sudden 15% of the people are here. And all these other people decided they didn't want to stay for the planet. I don't know. I mean, so the way I see things, you know, are going to play out different than that. All these things are going to keep falling apart. People are going to keep, their value systems or morals and stuff are going to keep changing. Places are going to be lost, and people are going to have to migrate and go to new places. We're going to have to rebuild things out of necessity. And there's going to be more of that and more of that. People are going to really start changing their concepts of things, because that's one thing they're already bringing up. Oh, how many of these senators and Congress and all that have dual citizenships? Because, like, do they let it? No, we got to show us their papers. You're allowed this one. They get to do whatever the fuck they want. And that's where we're going to go. We're going to be able to go where the fuck we want. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be, there may be some kind of a, you know, monitoring thing. Maybe there is going to be something like we walk through and it just shows where we're at. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to kind of be what we allow too. It's like, you know, I mean, part of that we just gotta have to see. But things that also will keep continuing to shift to freedom. So even if we have some kind of a thing that shows like, you know, well, she went to Australia, or she's in Australia, or something, then it's going to shift out of that. It's gonna because I mean, there's a definite point of like, it's none of your business. It's why does the government need to know where the fuck I am? And maybe it will be, you know, some communities will want people to check in or something if you're new to town, just so that they can know who's around their town and stuff. Like, we'll just have to see how things play out. But it's going to be going through lots of shifts, lots of, let's try this, I don't like that. But through this huge wave of change, yeah, there's going to be, like, right now, the chaos is just, you know, like, definitely the popcorn is popping. And so the, you know, I don't know, it kind of is like the lid's already coming off. Like something is going to create a big change here. Something is going to flip things. But it's not, you know, it's not their anger and tension. It's going to be for them to suddenly see the truth. That's when things flip. When all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, what? Wait, what? Then it's like, boom. And then it's like, that's going to be a nightmare for some people. It's like waking up in a fake reality all of a sudden, where it's like, how was I in this and now I'm in this? How can this be? And that is when they'll start recognizing that their own, their biases is such a huge one. But their, I don't know, it's like, it's so much like about the blinders. Some people put bigger blinders. And so it's about a comfort in themselves, like what I was saying about your attachment to who you are. It's like how they could find their own comfort. All of that is going to fall apart. And people are going to have to redistribute and try and figure out things in a new way. And that's the awakening. That's this process. And that is this ascension for the souls, this coming out of the ashes, this flying, this new world, this taking off and stuff. And so that is this part of the souls. It's like this expansion coming out. But everybody has this opportunity, but you know, I guess like not everybody's here for it. But not everybody's here for this first part of the age of Aquarius. Not everybody's here to go through all of the different things, but there is a lot of people here who are, as I say, it's way more than 15%. I say it's way more, you know, more like 45% or something. And it could be 65%, but there's way more than 15%. I'd say way more, like, but it's going to be, you know, different places and different things. Like everything's going to be just continue to change. But it's like the people all begin coming together as humans, human beings, earthlings, and we start giving, I don't know, if there's 9 stars on the flag now, I still think it, something with the continents. And then things are going to be changing too, because if Canada and North America, like this one map I saw, showed up all these places all of a sudden we're all claiming to be united together, but it's going to keep going and going and going. But still that land mass, so these like different land masses, so not so much of like, because I think that there's some land masses that they've got 2 continents on it, and so it's going to become more about these land masses or something, and all being united, and all the people, you know, not focusing on our differences, but focusing on what is more alike about us, because that's what brings us together. And still allowing people to have their differences, not expecting people to conform, because at some point it's like, who's the ultimate master of the conforming? Like, what are we conforming to? Who are we conforming for? And so that is where people get to have their distinct cultures or the distinct languages, or, you know, these different things that make them unique and stuff. And then in this part with this citizenship and stuff, where it's going to also open us up to where we get to start having dual citizenships and stuff like that. We get to start going and claiming citizenship in places where we have heritage and stuff. So we get like the same kind of opportunities or something, or, you know, like, you know, taxes are going away. That's one thing. The tax thing is going to be changing. They're not going to be taxing us, because that is like the crown. And so that's changing. But there's supposed to be like a fee or tax on certain products. So certain new things that you get. And maybe that's going to have something to do with all this tariff talk or something. I don't know. It all is going to shift in this natural progression of how it's going to go. You got to remember the people who are, you know, the people who are maneuvering in that craft, that boat on that current, is because that is their role to play. So their roles are, they know what they're doing. And then they've got the assistance of the universe and stuff. So these channels open up into new forms of existence and stuff. So, and I'm talking about like the channels of the water. So we're on a river and we've been going, but and now things are going to open up and they're going to take us in new directions. So these channels that open up into the river and it could take you, and the people like are taking us, like RFK, Elon, Donald, all these ones are showing us and showing the truth about things and exposing things, and all of that is going to just keep hitting people and hitting people as things go. And but things are going to, it seems like how it's going to play out is things are going to start getting better, but that's going to just really turn people's worlds upside down. And so that is where it goes into the time of reflection, and that's because you have to do this healing, because you got to let go of stuff. Like this three-dimensional spirituality is so off from spirituality. It's so, I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, to me, all this stuff going on is super exciting. It all goes together. It's all going right into the shifts that we want and everything, even if it's going to be crazy and stuff. You know, the more that you, the more you like stay put, the more you're not trying to get your needs filled outside of yourself. And the more that you are aware of safety and stuff, the more you protect yourself. You know, just like a deer out in a field, if it hears, you know, shots, it's not going to just stand in the field. It's going to run into, you know, camouflage and hide. And so to have the awareness, you know, of like the sounds, the feeling around you and stuff. So the more that you like tune into the universe and stuff, and in your reality and the atmosphere and stuff, but but there's lots of people who aren't going to be doing that. They're not here for that. And so, you know, that's where you got to really recognize everybody's here for their own journey. Everybody's here for their own lessons, their own stuff, their own souls have their own stories. And we got to quit thinking that everybody's has got a match and everybody's on the same path and everybody's doing the same thing. And there's one certain goal and it's ascension. No, that's not. It's for some people, some souls that came here to actually heal their stuff, to let go of stuff, to put together their pain and suffering from past lives and stuff and let it go, to move out of that energy, to go up to like an advancement out of the out of that energy, out of that frequency. And so those things are gonna be happening. That doesn't mean because it's not, somebody else isn't doing it, that they're doing the wrong thing. And they need to wake up and do what you're doing. It's like, well, you probably need to wake up and think like, oh, they've got something else going on. And maybe I could be learning something from them and their lessons and opening yourself up. And then one of the big things that you learn is this empathy, of this compassion to the different things, the different challenges and the different choices that people have to make, and then what makes them make those choices and how these things happen and stuff. Because when you can see that, it very much triggers these parts of you in that, I think it's like a little parable or a moral or something, like, you know, something about like where therefore you walk or something. It's like basically not walking in someone else's shoes, but being able to see that you could go through, like having the awareness, like that could happen to me. I could have made that same choice and that could have played out totally like that. And you start having empathy and compassion for what people are going through, instead of like judging them and telling them, well, you need to do this, but you should have done that. Well, if you would have done this, that wouldn't have happened. Don't ever listen to somebody say that. It's like everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to happen, and you can't stop that, and nobody can. That's like, go argue with fate and destiny, bitch. So, yeah, don't listen to that nonsense. There's so many people who say things like, if you, you're choosing low vibration, if you listen to that or whatever. No. And then also, there's a point of learning boundaries, not letting people suck you into their own problems and stuff. And all of the different challenges. It's not to be mean to the person. That person's coming in to help you learn how to do that. And so it's not to belittle them and tell them they're a piece of shit and they should get away from you because they're making you feel these ways. It's like, it's just so much backwards. Like, I mean, we are in the upside down. No shit about it. But anyways, I'm running out of time. And there may have been some more things. I may come back and do another one, even though you guys are not going to know. Because I don't know, that's going to interfere with my downloading because of the snow. And there's no service hardly when there's snow too. So there's no way I can, until we leave, go and download these. So you guys won't know. I'll do a short one probably. Like, if I'm not going to be able to go download tomorrow, then I'll do a short one so that to kind of let people know, like, when one will go on and we're in this snowstorm thing. So, but we have 4-wheel drive, so we'll just gotta see. And they do come out and plow, but there's a lot of snow. And I just don't know if it's gonna keep going, if it's gonna, start raining and turning into ice. I don't know what the hell's up. So it's like, you gotta go with the flow. And then weather just is all over the place. It's like I don't know. I think it's all just a bunch of bullshit. Like, they tell you it's going to be this, they tell you it's going to be that, and then all of a sudden it's totally something else. And then it's like they can't even keep up. So, anyways, let's have a look at my tooth. As I think, I think you got to look at it every day because it's changing so fast. It definitely is still sensitive. Like, all the raw part feels like, when you fall and you scrape your skin off your knee, and then you go down, like if you go down on your knee and it keeps being really sore for so long. So it's like tender like that. But it's making like lots of progress. So anyways, just remember, because I don't know, there's a lot of people here to tell you a lot of weird shit. But everything is here for you to learn and for you to grow. And the main things that needs to happen is you need to learn how to love yourself. It's important. You can't just pretend. You can't just mask up, pretend, and ignore everything that I know. You gotta actually learn how to love yourself. And you can learn how to love everybody, because it's important. And then figuring out how to have a happy day. It's an energy direction. It's like the focus that you choose. And then you get on that path and good things can happen. Good things start happening. But you got to put yourself there with your mind and see. It's a shift in reality. It's a shift in thought process. So anyways, and that is what we're doing here. So I will talk to you later. That's what I got to say about it. Bye.